nine weeks with his family, with his wife and three boys, three sons. So they have been hiking around Argentina, Bolivia, now Peru.
Yes, and Ecuador in 4 days.
In 4 days, right?
Yes.
So hopefully you have enjoyed Peru.
Yes, I did. That was my favorite country.
Peruvian food?
Yes.
Great. Some pisco probably?
Yeah, a lot. A little, sorry.
So great. So to start, maybe we can ask Julien, how is your experience, professional experience, if you can talk about a little bit your background, professional background, and then your experience in the B2B area.
Yes, so my experience is almost 15 years of sales and 3 years in marketing. I've been working for Royal Canin, which is a pet food company for cats and dogs, for 3 years in marketing. Then I moved to sales. I've been working for PepsiCo at different level. I was a representative, area sales manager. I've been a key account manager. I was a head of department, so managing people. Then I switched to Michel et Augustin, which is a French brand about cookies and chocolate mousse. I was a head of sales of this. Then I moved to Carglass, which is a windscreen replacement center, and I was the head of sales. And during the COVID, I met Marie because I've been doing a talk in iconoClass in France to help students. So we're going to talk about iconoClass later. And so I met Marie during the COVID on video, and she said, you want to just jump into the adventure because it was starting like 8 months ago. And I say, yes, why not? And let's go. And now I'm deeply in this adventure. So that's it.
And Julien, tell us, when did you discover all this B2B sales world? How was the start, and what was your experience? Why did you choose to go into this?
Actually, I don't know what I did choose, but I know what I didn't want, which was marketing, because I wasn't really feeling great with the marketing. So I jumped into sales when I just starting with PepsiCo. So I was selling chips, Pepsi, Tropicana, and stuff like that in supermarkets. And that was my first step in the B2B. And then I found it really, great. Loads of struggle, lots of win, lots of losses, of course. And I did really like it. So that was my first step was for PepsiCo selling chips.
Great. So tell us a little bit, what's exactly is B2B? Because we hear about B2B sales, but also B2C sales. What are the difference and what are the challenges in the B2B sales area?
I think sales is just one big thing, and it's all about just selling something to someone. And the big difference between particular and B2B is one is buying for himself, and the other one is buying for others with others' money. That's it. So when you buy for yourself, like a consumer, a customer, of course you have feelings and you think about with your head, and with your own money. When you have B2B, it's like a service you buy for a company. So it's not really the same sale, but it's all the time the same cycle, and we're going to talk about this later. And selling to company, selling to consumer, it's the same. It's all about listening. But B2B is how can you make your product fits the best with a company, not with a person. That may be the main difference.
Great. And what about the most challenging that you have struggled with B2B clients? Maybe what do you find most challenging in this?
I think that's because I'm passionate people and I do like sales. All the time, I find it really, really hard when the people in front of me are not talking. I have no feelings. It's just like in a purchaser role and just saying nothing with no feelings. And I think that's what we've been discussing during the lunch, because it's all about passion and connection between people. When you have really, really professional people in front of you, it's to just struggle with your proposition, with your tariffs, your price, and not with the feelings. And for me, I most of the time work with my feelings. So that may be the hardest part.
And what will be like the solution for that? Are there any magic solution, or how do you try to solve when you have in front of you someone that's colder maybe, or someone that doesn't talk that much?
All the time of winning, even with those clients, is just a part of chance as well. And if you want to force the chance, you have to be well prepared.
Amazing. Good advice. What about when you are with customers? How personal should be the relationship with them? Because it's a business relationship, and you are talking that we need to have a close relationship with them, right? So yeah. How close? What's the barrier between those?
I think I wouldn't put any barriers. The more personal can be, the best it will be. So what I do recommend, as we said, when I've been learning negotiation, it's all about learning about your clients. And we have two different investigations, which are, the first is personal investigation and professional investigation. And during those appointments that you have with your clients, try to mix those two questions. Of course, not what he's doing at night or just whatever. It's just, when I mean personal, what is he like? What is his passion? Just to have something else to talk about. And the deepest you get, I think the best it is. What I can say is, when I was in PepsiCo, I used to struggle with clients with really, really hard negotiation. And in south of France, we have a little island called La Corse, which is like, different people. They're a bit like...
stubborn.
Yes, that's it. And on this island, I had one client which was really, really cold with me all the time. Thanks to the personal relation I developed with him, I had maybe the biggest business with these clients. How did I do this? Just appointment after appointment, just asking questions about his personal life. And I discovered that even if this person was really rude, he was like big heart man. But because he was in a professional position, and the first step, it was like really hard, not talking, never smiling, and all the time shouting at people. And after a year, we have all the time in France, every 1st of October until the end of February, we start the negotiation. So the next October, he called me and say, do we agree? And I say, do we agree about what? He say, no, we're not going to negotiate together. And we just set up the deal every year because we just developed this personal relationship. So that's really great. But as a CEO, I will have to watch out for that. Why? Because when you have good sales, we develop good personal relationship in B2B business. I mean, the dark side of this, if the sale is living and it's all about personal, it's really hard for the next one. And maybe that could be like a junction or a bridge, but what I want to say now, if all of you have a sales team, just keep an eye on it. You need to stay involved in it, to be part of this personal relationship, because as CEOs or head of or whatever your job is, you need to be involved in the sales as well, to be sure that there is a connection between salespeople, because salespeople are coming and living. CEOs normally, hopefully, are staying, I hope for you. And so that's why it's really important. So you can go the deepest you want, but you have to be involved in it as well.
So you would recommend all CEOs to attend those meetings, or at which point should they attend the sales meeting, at the closing part or the beginning to introduce the company?
I think that we can define this in the B2B cycle. It depends of where you are on the step of your company. If you are like early stage, I think the CEOs has to be there all the time, because he has to be involved in the sales. He has to know how to sell his products, and it's really important for the connection, because you as a CEO represent something. My CEO, called Marie Taquet, she represents something, and when she is beside me, it's always easier for me to close deal, because she just represents iconoClass. So early stage, you have to be there all the time. Whereas when you're starting growing a bit, I think that you can have a dedicated sales team, but all the time, as I said, when I was in PepsiCo or maybe smaller companies, business is all the time doing between bosses, all the time. In PepsiCo, during the tennis tournament Roland Garros, all the time big bosses were talking together, and after salespeople has to do the job of negotiation. But the sparkle is between bosses. So when CEOs is here, it's all the time easier for us to close the deal. So after early stage, maybe you let the sales get the contacts, maybe the first appointments, then you get involved into it. Just to build this famous connection, this personal connection. When you're at a big stage, like you're a big company, like Kreante, you can just be involved only in big deals. Or maybe just meet some other CEOs and just, set up the deals. So it depends whatever you like, but as you can see, early stage to, big companies, I think that CEOs has to be involved all the time in the sales.
So social meetings and social parties are really important, right?
Yeah, really. I mentioned Roland Garros. We had a different partnership in PepsiCo, and we were involved in the rugby tournament in France, the football team, concert, and stuff like that. I remember a sentence during this talk of my former CEO of PepsiCo, which he was responsible of the out-of-home business. So all the Pepsi that you buy in a bar, in a hotel, or whatever, outside the supermarket. And he said that during those 14 days of Roland Garros, he was doing half of the business. So only in 14 days.
Roland Garros is the French Open.
French Open for the tennis tournament in Paris. Yeah, one of the 4 biggest tournaments. And he was doing 14 days. Not watching tennis, of course, but in the living room, behind the tennis court, talking with people. And, PepsiCo is a big company, I don't mean that you have to be in the biggest event in Peru, but socializing with the CEOs, it's I think, the main important part, because it's going to be personal, so you're going to win.
And that might change probably by culture, right? Depending with which country, when we are internationally. Because that's one time it happened. I used to work like a business manager in France, in Paris, some years ago, and I was in charge of an oil industry clients, right? I was recruiting technical resources for oil and gas company. I told him, okay, I purchased 5 tickets for the Champions League match because I'm coming with a client. And my boss was like, what? That's so much money. But after the match, they went to I think it was a Russian team with Paris Saint-Germain. And then he closed the deal, and it was a big deal with Total companies. So yeah, that makes sense that this relationship, and I also believe it will depend on maybe countries, culture, barriers. I don't know if all culture and countries are open to this kind of relationships.
I have a joke like this. I was working for a company, so I don't want to say the name because I don't want to denounce them, but I was with German people, and German people is not like that. German people is all the time, just on the line. The line is just traced, so don't go over or under the line. That's the line. And so we went to the restaurant at night with some German clients, and they come, and everybody was on the table. So we ordered some beers, some stuff to drink. And normally in France, you don't drink a lot, but.
Wine.
Well, yes. And water, loads of water. And so you're on table, and all the German came, and at the end, as usual, I took my business cards, and I was just to the counter, and the German client just came and say, okay, so we've been drinking this, eating this, and they didn't want us to pay. So that's different, because another time, another company, I was in Las Vegas for the Subway meeting, and I was all with the Italian, Spanish, and American team. At the end of the meal, I came with my business card, and the bank said, no, you can't pay because the amount is too big. But everyone was expecting me to pay. So that's difference of culture, of course, but I think that most of the time, even you pay or you don't, we did pass a good moment all together. It's all about social as well.
Amazing. What about the B2B cycle? I've been hearing you talk about B2B cycle for this sale process. Can you share about it a little bit more?
Sure. I want to question, does anyone want in the audience just say what is working for, just to have like a real example instead of being like give me your company and what you do?
¿Alguien tiene un ejemplo de una empresa para que ponga un ejemplo del ciclo B2B que ellos aplican? No sé si alguien quiere dar, hermano.
I can go for it.
¿Sí?
Yeah. So I have basically we sell a program. It's a platform that help non-technical people learn how to be digital creators using NoCode tools.
Okay.
We sell that to companies.
Oh, you sell that to company. Okay, great. So let's talk about this. It's not a software. It's a school. It's a school. A service. It's a service. It's a SaaS. Have this SaaS so selling to companies to learn no code to companies. Is that right? Okay, great. So if you're gonna say people to sell this, first of all, the cycle is you're gonna approach them. You're gonna reach people two different ways. It's called reaching. Okay. And you have email first, or you can have LinkedIn message, you can have cold calling. Which one do you use?
I would say LinkedIn.
Everything?
LinkedIn.
Oh, LinkedIn. Oh, sorry. I'm getting old, so. And mascarilla. Okay, so you're using LinkedIn. LinkedIn is great. Just a little message about this. I was talking like 3 months ago before my trip with my family. I was talking with an expert in the UK about growth, and he talked about LinkedIn. I don't know if you did know that, but he's using voice message on LinkedIn. I just discovered that, and apparently the number of response you get for the voice, the vocal, message you get on LinkedIn is just amazing. So if you want to try it, that's great. And I just called him back because he left me a voice message. That was great. So I don't use LinkedIn a bit. I use email sometimes, but I'm just not really good at emails. It's one of my colleagues who's writing in. You know her, George. And what I do use is cold calling. I just do this. So I'm trying to get the clients, the one. So you have to define the target first. You will have to know what does he do, and inside the company, find the right people. So starting a sales techniques without knowing who I'm talking to, and who I'm going to have an appointment with is just waste of time. So first, be sure that you calibrate the right company you target and finding the right people inside, okay? Let's not go through the technical part, which is the ICP, so ideal customer profile. And inside the ICPs, you will have the buyer persona, which is the buyer or the purchaser, the decision maker, and the user. So you will have to find those three people in every company. That's really important. Then when you reach them, what do you ask them?
Well, first, if they are making investments to educate people in digital abilities so they can accelerate their digital transformation.
Okay, great. So he is trying to know what is the interest they can have in your product, but what is the goal? Sorry, you are my, sorry, but what is the goal of your message?
Well, first is to understand where they are
Okay.
in the process. If they are thinking to invest resources, and then see if we make a good fit to what they're looking for.
Okay, great. So making a good fit, trying to understand. Okay, so that's great. But it's not the right time to do this. What I do recommend for this is, first of all, the first goal that you're going to have when you reach someone in a cold reaching is just having an appointment, okay? SaaS for no-code training is too complicated to explain. This is 4 lines. Your product is maybe too complicated, too expensive, not shiny enough, or whatever. Yeah, you want to struggle with this during an appointment. But imagine if you send someone, have you got any interest in something? yes or no, so that's 50-50. And to be sure that in the middle of, I don't know, his lunch break or during a coffee break or whatever, is looking on LinkedIn on your message, the chance for him to be interested in your message is really, really thin. So what I do recommend, first of all, ask for an appointment, okay? So the structure could be who you are, why you're reaching him, is he available for an appointment? That's it. Asking people for an appointment means that I know you're busy now. I know you all are, and thank you for being here on Friday afternoon. But I know you're busy, but what I do recommend is just a 10 minutes, 15 minutes appointment to see if you have any interest in my product, which is the difference between do you have an interest in no-code training? It could be yes or no, okay? So what I do recommend is this message. First is like having like a main sentence just to make your people thinking. Have you ever heard of no-code? Yes or no? What would be your company performance with trained no-code people in your inside, I mean? What would be the interest you could have having people trained in your company? So I know as a product manager, I know as a DSI, I know as a CMO that no-code is really important. What I do recommend is let's have an appointment together to talk about it. So the interest is there, then you go for an appointment. That's called reaching. That's really important. So please avoid selling your product in 4 lines, in the first call, or in emails. It's not going to work because people haven't got time. So schedule appointments. So you will see, and during an appointment, you will see if it's okay or not. Okay? What I do recommend is using cold calling. I avoid email, I avoid LinkedIn. So cold calling is really important for me. It's like a minute and a half, taking appointments, and taking appointments. I don't know what, I've got Spanish coming in my head, even if I don't speak Spanish, but that's okay. So when you've got the appointment, then you set up and you prepare this appointment to see what's going to happen, okay? I can give small tips or? Of
course, yeah.
Okay, great.
Sure.
So we're doing cold session, in cold call, you can have some different objection, of course, of your client. I haven't got the time, I don't know you, let's send me an email or whatever, okay? Yes, of course, I know you haven't got the time. No, I'm not going to send you an email because when I send email, people don't reply to me. Okay? I'm not interested. I know all the people that I've said have an appointment, said at the beginning, I'm not interested. Now I'm working with them. Let's see during those 15 minutes appointments if you're really not interested. I haven't got the money. Don't worry, my SaaS is not about money. It's about winning time. Let's have an appointment to deal with this. Okay? So you're not here to deal the objection, okay, to handle the objection. It's okay. When you call someone in a cold calling, you disturb him. So if you disturb him, of course, you know that he hasn't got the time or it's not the right one. You know it, of course. You just disturb him. But if you hang up your phone, man, it means that apparently you're not that really busy, okay? So you take the appointment, you accept the objection, and then you set up the appointment, okay? When you've been setting up the objection, let's go back into the sales cycle. You will have to prepare this appointment. That's really important. Preparation, been talking during the lunch. Preparation I think is everything. What do I want to know? So prepare your questions. So I don't know the word in Spanish, but open question all the time. We're going to talk this discovery phase, okay? How, what, where, or all the open, not do you. Because if you ask a client, do you like no or yes? But what do you prefer? Which is an open question, so it's going to open the conversation. So if at the beginning you're not really comfortable with sales, prepare and write all your question, okay? So you prepare your question and all the items that you want to know. And during this preparation phase, you will learn how to listen. Because the biggest tips I'm going to say that sales is really easy. It's all about asking questions, open, and listening to answer. And it might be as a salesperson or as a CEO, as a passionate people, all the time you want to talk about your product. Why your product is going to be great for the company, which is not good. Okay? So you will ask questions, and I want to say something, and tell me if I'm too long and I talk too much. Okay, great.
Really interesting. Go ahead.
When I was a bit younger, yesterday, I used to talk a lot, which is the case today, but I was, talking really a bit more.
With clients, you mean, right?
Yeah, I mean with the clients, yeah. And all the time with the clients, I was like that, asking questions. Like, yes, and do you know what yes, I know this. And all the time I was, just getting the speech. That's just awful. So I put something which is really, it's real. I forgot my notebooks. Actually, I didn't take it. It is in France, but I can send a picture to George. He can share it. So how do I prepare myself? I was preparing myself. Now I talk a bit less. On the left side, I was asking all the open question, and I was writing like in a big circle, T, J, okay, which is in French means shut up, okay. That was in big on my preparation, just to remember this silent face is so important. Ask a question, then leave a silence. Leaving a silence is just the place that you give to your client to express himself first, okay? And you have the time, had the people in the front row does, just taking notes. And most of the time, as you can see, I just slow down my speech and just what do you think about what I've just said? I just let you the time to receive, think, then talk. So I'm talking alone at the moment, but in the front of a client, that's what you have to do. So open question in the preparation, then silence first to listen, okay? When you've got all this discovery phase, okay, I'm going to do it anyway. Okay. Sorry, George.
So ICP, discovery phase, right?
Yes, discovery phase. And in the discovery phase, Oula. Have you ever heard about the spin method? Okay. So I'm do it quick because normally it's quite long. But first of all, you will have to define during your discovery phase what is your client's. It's your client to achieve this objective. The blocker is the pain. So trying to define the pain, what does it block the client to achieve this objective, okay? And when you've got the pain, okay, the pain, bad sellers stop there. Okay, so apparently you've got a headache, that right? Okay, so lack of, lack of non-training people, or I don't know, because external stuff, I don't know, whatever, the COVID or whatever, okay? Implication. So what is implication? I was normally having a fundraise by the end of the year. I couldn't present the turnover, so the investors say, okay, let's report this next year. Okay, that's the implication. Okay? Do not stop there. Bad sellers do. Okay? And the last one is, here's the tricky parts, but the magical trick, it's the need payoff. And the need payoff is what would be the benefits for the clients if you solve his problem? Okay? Just turn this into a personal life, okay? About situation, pain, implication, and a need payoff, okay? In the situation, you have a little boy who's just running in the courtyard, okay? And he fell over, so he's bleeding on the elbow. sorry. He's coming to his teacher saying, and crying, it hurts, I'm bleeding. That's my pain. Okay, I'm bleeding. Okay, what is the implication? That really hurts and I cannot play with the others. It's not about the pain. It's because I can't play with my friends. Okay, so what would be the benefits if I just repair this, if I heal this for you, like having a bandage on it, like a handband? Well, you know what? I would be really happy because I would be back again in the courtyard. Here is my argumentation. To a client, instead of saying, you know what, I've got handbands who can help you, no. I've got a product who can make you happy again. Which is not the same. Selling about situation and pain is just selling about argumentation, definition of your product. It's a SaaS, $9 a month, it's cheap, it's easy to use. No, it's all about benefits. Using my solution, what is the name of your company? Caudal.
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 Sí, dale. So using Caudal is just a way to save money. So when I'm going to reach people at the beginning of the call session, it's not about the cheapest way to train your salary, sorry. It's just, do you know the best way to just save money with no code? Let's have an appointment together. So when you've been discovering this, okay, you have your argumentation to sell your products. So the magic trick is all about asking questions and listening to the answer. And the clients will let you know the benefits that he wants, not the benefits that you want. Another example to be sure that to be clear, when you go to buy a car, I go to buy a car, I've got 3 kids, 1 dog, and I do play golf. So I need a big car, okay? I know nothing about engine. If a man is coming to sell me a van, normally he has to ask me what to do. What is it for? I have 3 boys, a woman, I hope she's not watching. I mean, my lovely wife, and a dog, and a golf bag. Okay, what is it for? Okay, I don't know, it's going in the weekend in everyone, and be sure not to be stressed because you've got enough space for everything. Okay, so now I've been telling him, what do I want? And a good car seller would say, okay, would you be all right if I show you the car, no worries about spaces? Yeah, I will be happy. Whatever the car is, I will be happy because I'm going to see it. If someone alone, like with no wife, no kids, no dogs, just want to know about engine and want like a big car because he want to be watched by everyone, if you ask the right question for the same car, you say, okay, I've got the car for you. I think it's the best car ever to be watched in the street. And it's the same car. What I do recommend here is let the clients explain to you what does he wants. Do not explain to the clients what he needs. And it might be the best top error that the sales does at the moment, at the beginning. When I talk to Jorge is just a no-code expert. When he sold, apparently you not agree? Yes, he is. Honestly, he is. And when we talk about no-code in Kreante, Jorge is passionate. So he might explain to me that Kreante is the easiest way to build no-code or whatever. Honestly, I don't care. I don't know nothing about no-code. But what it explained to me is, you want a product, you want something works really fast and not as expensive as you could have in France? Yes, I am the man of your situation. I'm going to explain to you why. Kreante is in Peru, is no, and whatever. On the other part, You could have been deciding, you know what, I am the #1 of NoCode in Peru, and I've got 8 technicians, and I cost $30 a month for whatever. Yeah, I don't care. Does it work? So do not explain to the clients how he has to adapt to your products. Your product won't change. If you have to sell this white chair, it's a white chair. But explain to your clients by asking the question, why does he need a chair? Someone is to feel comfortable, just to be seated because my knees hurts, or just I like it because it's beautiful. But if you don't ask and don't listen to the clients, you won't know it. You would just sell him a cheap white chair. That's it. So after you've been discovered this and the need payoff, which is the benefits expected by your clients, you move into the sales parts. Okay? Moving into the sales parts is maybe the easiest way, because your clients have been saying his benefits. Just pick 1 or 2 benefits inside your product solution. That's it. Okay? Don't say that your product, is the cheapest on the market, the fastest, or the best, or no. If I need the cheapest because I'm price sensible, just use it. Don't use the other. And that may be the second error that I did at the beginning of my career, because I knew that PepsiCo has the best products. I would sell all the characteristics of the product. I don't care about the characteristic. I care about advantages, and I care about benefits. So the second trick is, after discovery and preparation, open question is trying to find the benefits of your clients and use it during your argumentation. And using just one benefit instead of all the characteristics of the product. Okay? In fairy tales, when you sell stuff, all the time the clients say yes. In real life, they say no. No is just an objection during your sales. Don't worry. A no is just something that you haven't discovered. Okay? So, I take your example. You have an objection, and what do?
I go back to the office and try to do what you just said.
Okay.
Understand what piece of information I missed.
Okay.
So
we are here. Oh. It's the discovery. Oopla, discovery. Okay. Here, the sales. Over there is just about question. Okay. So here you have a quote, but the client says sorry but no. Sorry but no means that you have to go back to discovery. An objection is just something that you haven't discovered during the discovery phase. Imagine you haven't just announced the price of your SaaS solution, which is 20 soles a month. Okay, that's it. When you say during your argumentation it's 20 soles a month, say, oh, that's too expensive. If during the discovery phase you would have said to your clients, what would be the expected price of a solution like mine? I don't know, about, 10 to 15 soles. Okay, so you know that 20 is too expensive. So you're going to avoid objection by saying those stuff. So, even it's happened all the time, when you have an objection, you go back in discovery. You say too expensive. Could you explain why?
I'm sorry?
No. Your clients say it's too expensive. Okay? So you just reply, okay, when you say too expensive, why? At what moment did you say that that's too expensive? What characteristic of my products don't fit with the price that I gave to you? And again, as you can say, I was just asking question. So during an objection, when it arrives, you go back and you ask another question. And you do exactly the same. Except this time, the pain is the price. When you say too expensive, what does that implicate for you? What would be the need payoff? What would be the benefits? not paying this price. And with this, you're handling objection and doing all the time the famous sales cycle. Okay? And by the end, hopefully, I hope for you, you're going to close the deal. Okay? Do you have any question?
I have one.
Yeah, go on.
So most of the B2B sales are also influenced by a cycle that normally companies have. How do you manage that into that format? Because most of the time, at least in my experience, when I reach out to companies, they don't tell me, you know, no because you're too expensive, or no because you, yeah, they normally say, let me check. And they get back to me saying, you know, we might want to wait a little bit longer, you know, or just think about that in 2 months or 3 months.
It's not the right time, or let's wait
Not
next
the right
year.
time,
Yeah,
or whatever.
that's a good objection. Yeah, that companies do.
Okay. So that's an objection. It's not right time, not the money, or whatever. Okay, so maybe George just put some big stuff on LinkedIn about me and my 15 years of experience. Let's just share a matrix just to feel a bit comfortable, okay? You're the CEO of your company? So if Mary is looking at me, she wants me to close all the deal I've been opening. So as a CEO, you want to close all the deal you've been opening, okay? You're right with this? Yeah, of course, because you want to turn over, just grow up. Okay, so for one deal, you need 3 my matrix. I'm not the best, but I'm not bad, you know? 3 to 5 appointments with different clients, of course. Imagine you're a client, you're a client, you're a client. I mean, future prospects. So I do have 3 different appointments. To have those 3 different appointments, I mean, quote sent, I need to do 30 to 50 approach, okay? And for this, I need to do, oui, on est bon, 300 to 500 reach, called reaching. And to get all of this, I need 3,000 to 5,000 leads. I mean dirty leads. Okay, they want to scrap from the internet, from LinkedIn. I scrap 3,000 to 5,000 leads. And in these leads, only 300 to 500 just are really good. Okay? It means during those 30 to 50 appointments to get one deal, I missed 29 times. People saying that's not the right time. I really like what you did, I really appreciate it. Send me a quote. Oh, sorry, man. But you know what, maybe 2023, that would be better. So my closing rate is around 33%, 35%. So it means that during 65% of the time, I lose deal. Being a good sales is just being, you know, all the time looking for leads, looking for opportunity, but you will be prepared to lose. And most of the time, because I'm a salesperson, I would be really, really proud when I say big deals. But when I lose deals, I don't tell that much, you know. So it's all about ego. Are you ready to lose some deals? And what is really important for all of you, during those 3 to 5 quotes, and if you close just 1 on 5, don't look at why you did close. Look at what you lose, and you will improve your method all the time. I am too expensive, but is it all the time, or just one client say it? I am too complicated. Okay. This is all the clients or just one seller. It's not the right time. Maybe there is seasonality. Okay, during the summer, I mean winter. No, sorry, yes, because I'm a bit, during July and August in France, no way, you can't do B2B. It's not you. So maybe it wasn't the right time to send the quote. So sending a quote at the end of June is not right. So I'm going to stop my prospection campaign by the end of June and start back in September. So analyze why you lose, but be prepared to lose. You know what I don't believe about people who just for sales, all the time I'm selling, I've got the tricks. You will, with my method, close all the deals. Honestly, that's bullshit. Those metrics, I don't know people over 35. I mean regular business, okay, not like an iPhone. Okay, iPhone is just everyone want an iPhone and that's easy. I mean, does anyone want no-code training inside companies? No, not at all. But do you have the opportunity? Yes, of course. So it means just keep your heads up, okay? And you will not close all the deal. Think about why, and afterwards you will find a solution to handle most objections. That's it. And you can iterate all the time and just being stronger and stronger. Wow, that was a long answer, no?
That was great.
The longest answer ever.
Two questions concerning
Yes.
this phase. During the 30, 50 interviews, of course, you have with potential customers, you talk about preparing, right,
Yeah.
the interview and discover the potential customer. So imagine you have contacted them through LinkedIn. How are you preparing this interview? How are you discovering these personal things that will let you connect more deeply with them?
You have two different ways. First is when you haven't got the time because you develop your business. First of all, I would just separate discovery phase and sales appointments, which each two different phases. You will ask normal question, regular question. Of course, you'll be on LinkedIn, you'll be on Google, all the information you can have in the companies, that's for sure. And afterwards, you can just define all the different questions, objectives, personal, professional, what is the turnover, it's all the time the same. And why would it be interested in such a solution as a SaaS for no-code or whatever? And as soon as you get like an interest, you can turn into sales. So you have to prepare those different things. Of course, who you're talking to. So just go on LinkedIn, just scrap whatever. Be like informed about his business. Find some news. Maybe you can just find that on Google. That's quite easy. I use Google most of the time. And maybe you can bring him some information about his business, because it's not because he's like, please say to the client, you know what, at this moment, please say to the client, you know what, at this moment, we won't make any business together. No one will blame you about not wasting the time. They will say, whoa, the man said apparently it is not great business, so we're not losing time each other. Thank you very much, bye-bye. So
don't force the sale, right?
Yeah, don't force it, because if there is no interest, and the clients will remind it, because and the day he will need you, maybe he will call you.
Great. Concerning also the discovery phase, what in my former job we used to do is like, well, all times when it was like presential, right, like one-to-one meetings, we went to the office of the guy, and we could see in the office what stuff he had. Like maybe he had a picture playing tennis, so he loved tennis, and then we could invite him to Roland Garros, right, and then connect with him.
Absolutely. That's funny you say that, because when I used to see commercial directors for other companies, when in a big office, old style, like old man with a big boat inside, him in a boat like that, him in a boat like that all the time. Do you like boat? Yes, of course, no. And I was looking inside all the different name of the boats, and we've been talking about boats during 15 or 20 minutes, because I just used to like it, but I get a bit more information about it. That's what I was talking about, personal, yes. That's not personal, but of course you just show interest to your clients because you talk about personal stuff, so that's a good stuff, yeah.
Great. And concerning the profile about a business developer, you said that, we got a lot of no's, right? Mm-hmm. So one skill should be probably not to like no's, but to accept them, to be resilient. What would be other skills that business developer needs, or sales managers?
I think it's just about the energy. The energy you do all the time. When I do cold call or I do this, it's really hard work because most of the time you see if you have 300 to 500, it means that I only have like, let's go to the closest figure, sorry, 300 to 50, it means 250 times I have someone who say no, even say something really, really bad. So how can you disturb me or something like that? So I think it's not motivation, it's just energy. So as soon as you get into sales, don't do it if you're on a dark day. Do administrative stuff, call your mom, whatever, but don't do sales because it's all about the mindset. And if you have the right mindset, if you show the light, the spark in your eyes, maybe the people's going to look at you and say, well, he looks passionate, apparently his product is quite great. I think it's a good start. So that would be, yeah, energy, resilience, and maybe courtesy. Well, I'm going to tell you that in the platform, we're going to see that you did, in Kreante, we have the CSM part. CSM is after sales, so you know that you have your clients, is in your portfolio, and you want to
customer success, right?
Yeah, customer success. Yes, as we said during the lunch, it's 10 times much more expensive to get a new client instead of keeping one. Okay, so be sure that you take care of your client. And on the CSM part, so customer success manager. What is really important is how to make a good offboarding. And that's what I'm talking about, courtesy. If you don't get the deal, be sure that you don't get it with courtesy. Okay, thanks a lot. And even ask why. Okay, you know what? We won't go through Codal today because, you know, it's expensive. Okay, just can you give me 10 minutes to explain me, when you say expensive, what do you mean? When you say it's not the right time, one, because I need to improve myself, your product, and maybe we could work together, maybe later. So ask a question, and all the time, a client has the right to say no. You say no most of the time to people who call you whatever. So do not hesitate to ask why. Be just with courtesy. And even when you have a client say, you know what, that's enough, we're not going to work anymore. Okay, I can understand. We need to change, like everyone. Ask why, and just be just gentle. That would be great.
Something happened like not that time ago, a long time ago with Christian, with a prospect. Like they decide to move on with another provider, and we asked why. Like, okay, what happened? We would like to know a little bit more about this decision. And it was like the most helpful guy that he even gave us a time of his agenda for a call and explained us, yeah, the other provider, you were great, like great reference, great reviews. I was like almost hesitating to say yes. But the other provider gave me more confidence because they sent me a video of how the work will be. They sent me a video explaining with my use case how the development will work. So now we're trying to implement this new like a feature on our proposal that of course will take a little bit more of time, but we know that we can be more competitive maybe for other clients.
And I have something to say that when I was in Carglass, I used to work with training companies, not for NoCode but for sales. And I had 3 different zut, ouais, mais un appel d'offres. A bid, thank you. I had a bid with 3 different companies. We're going to train sales with Carglass. I wanted one, but I wasn't the only decision maker. As the head of sales, I had a human resources and training director. And because of many good reasons, we didn't choose the one I liked the most. So he called me and said, okay, could you explain why? I said, it's not you, it's not why you're present, you know, we had made a vote, and because of this, and this, you'll not be chosen. What I did is when I changed company, and I go to another one, I just bring him with me, and I set up the deal with him. Because I found that the call he gave to me just gave me confidence. Instead of, because I liked it, I say, he's really professional. He wants to understand why. He trains sales, and he just showed me the best way to do it. So I went out of the company, and I come with him, in another company.
Before moving to the iconoClass maybe subject and talk about iconoClass, what you do, just a couple last questions and comments. What have been your most challenging sales process, or more difficult maybe, besides the one from Corsica? You told us at the beginning, you have an example of that and how you...
Actually, I want to give maybe I want to, and that's a good learning. I want to talk about the Subway deal. The Subway deal with Pepsi that I didn't finish because I just moved position. But we start this deal with Subway, and Subway is like European deal. And we start talking about having a deal, having Pepsi inside all the Subway in Europe, especially in France, which is a big deal. And when I started to make all the connection. That was really hard because I had to know from the bottom to the top, talking to the big guy in the UK and everything, talking to everyone to be sure that we know everyone. And that it took me like 6 to 12 months to know everyone. I didn't finish the deal, but it's the same because someone else finished and didn't conclude the deal. How personal is important. We knew afterward that the connection between, that was a long time ago, between Coca-Cola and Subway, that was like a personal connection. A personal man, I mean, not family, but a personal connection. And I did know, I just struggled during 12 months, knowing everyone, trying to do this personal stuff with the UK people, which is quite hard because they're really professional. And I was sure that we had the best deal, and when I knew, because it was a year after, I knew that we lost it. And it wasn't about the proposition, it's just about personal connection. And I found it so unfair, because they ask loads of stuff, and we get through it, and that's about losing, 12 months, imagine even...
Energy, motivation.
Yeah, energy, and the man after, because I was just, leaving this position. And I found it unfair because I want to go to those people and say, you know what, I just gave 12 months of my life, okay, for you. And just, you just say no because you know someone who knows someone who knows someone. No, that's maybe the best learning. You know how to lose, and it's not against you, it's not against the proposition. It's because there is another connection you didn't see, and maybe I won't have wasted so much time for this. So maybe that was the biggest struggle and the greatest learning for this.
Concerning, I know you've been sales coach, right, before this position of head of the edtech at iconoClass. Why someone will need some sales coaching, and how you change this person? Is like goals behind, KPIs? What's the process on sales coaching?
Why and what is the process? Why?
To increase their sales, probably, to get better?
No, I think everyone needs to learn sales if they want to go through. It's all about method, of course, but it's all about feelings and energy. And I think, and it's really personal, I didn't write any book or something like that, but I do really feel that sales is like sports. Why does a football player or tennis player or whatever needs a coach? Mbappe?
Even if they're good and excellent,
yes.
They are coach, right?
Yes, they need coach because they need to have like a goal together, they need to be structured, they need to be helped. A sales coach is like, like a trainer on the pitch, and you can watch people playing, selling, and you can just reorient the gesture, the exercise, because sales is all about repeating stuff all the time. We talk about cycle. I think that for no code you can just stop me, but you will have some different problems, different solution, and it's not all the time the same solutions. For the sales, it's all the time the same solution. You didn't ask enough questions, you didn't see the objection coming, so you answer to it instead of trying to avoid it. It's all the time the same stuff, so keeping repeating. And then, what was the second question? Why? And how you do this?
The process, yeah. And
the process is quite easy. You mean in iconoClass or for a business developer?
In iconoClass.
In iconoClass, okay. So that's for the customer part. I mean, the bootcamp part. It's a 3 months bootcamp. We have 3 sessions a year, and the application is quite easy. I'm helping at the moment Maria, who is just opening the UK. You need to fill a form, okay, and it's all about why do you want to be a business developer. So we score this form, and afterwards you will have an interview with someone like me or Maria, which is the country manager of the UK. And this interview is easy. It's all about motivation, because with those metrics, it's going to be hard. It's going to be 12 weeks of intense training, calling people, saying no. So that's it. So it's all about motivation and implication that you're going to have. It's not all about the situation, I don't have any job, the pain, I don't have money, implication, I can't eat, benefits, I would have a better life. Okay, what would be the implication of yourself inside this bootcamp? When we felt this implication, this motivation, we just apply for this, and the main thing is that it's going to be practical, because it's not about theory, it's practical. So Monday and Friday you will have theory by sales coach, some gaming, some a training session, I mean in live, you're going to do some personal developments in front of people, human resources training to be sure to have the right LinkedIn profile and stuff like that. And Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday you will have practical, so CEOs from companies who are coming, explain sales, because it's not because I'm a sales coach that I am the only one who know how to sell. He's going to explain how do they sell in their company, and in the afternoon we're going to pick up the phone, do some video calls and stuff like that to train and to make some calls. By the end of iconoClass in 3 months, the bootcamp is going to be 800 calls made by the trainers. So it's really great. That's for the bootcamp part. And then we have a B2B part. It's going to be a good transition with you. Yeah.
Just a last question concerning the sales and your trip in Latin America. Have you got any experience of negotiation in Peru with Peruvians?
Yeah, as I said to Jorge, I quite like negotiate with Peruvian people, because the Peruvian people do not like silence. So every time we take night buses most of the time, because it's cheapest, and we go through. And all the time, when we arrive at the bus terminal, we have loads of taxi. You can see like a French family of 5 people. So taxi, taxi, taxi. And I say yes. And I show the address.
En español, sí.
Sí, en español, sí. Taxi, taxi, sí, sí, para 5 personas. Sí, sí. So, ¿dónde vas? I show the address, and the man said, oye, 25 soles. No, 20. No, 22, no, 20. 21, no, 20. Ah, vale, 20. That's quite funny, because I don't know why, but all the time my big boss look at me and say, wow, you're really good at negotiation. And I say, no, it's all about silence. And when you look at the Peruvian people straight in the eyes and say, no, 20, 20, 20, and it's easy, because you have 6 people taxi waiting for the others, and they want the 20 soles as well. So of course it's easier, but that's quite funny.
So that's a good way of negotiation, right? You have to have alternative.
Yes. Yeah.
If you just have one taxi, maybe it's harder.
That's easy. Yeah, that's easy. That's not. But that's funny, because Peruvian for this are trying. You know, there is a legend, and I think that when you see an American people coming, you know he's going to pay. But when you see a French people, you know he's going to negotiate all the time. So normally we hate, I mean, all the people hate French tourists because they negotiate all the time. That's it.
So great experience for you and your pocket, and your wallet.
Yes.
Spending too much in Peru.
Yeah.
So maybe we can show the iconoClass website, and you already talked a little bit about iconoClass. Just tell us a little bit, what do you do in iconoClass? What's the goal of iconoClass?
Yeah. So we developed this. So we developed this, so that's the bootcamp session, so you will have all the information because we're going to train some people in December in the UK, so if you need some development in English or in French, you will be. So that's the bootcamp part, and you have another part, which is the B2B part. I sell my service to companies in different ways, in bootcamp during days or weeks in companies. So I just move myself inside Paris or all over France or even in Germany, and I just teach sales negotiation. All the time it's the same structure because we'll build the program like this, and you will see afterwards in the platform. So what is it? It's a bit of theory, what we did. Explanation in real life, and then training with games, with a real case. I have a training in September. I had a call with the commercial director, and we set up some different games to make the people play with their job, to be sure that they understand well how does it work. I think I love playing first. And second, I think it's a good way just to be out of your everyday job. So it's for one day, for different weeks. That's the B2B part. And there is the frontier between what we've been working with Kreante, because we're selling online sessions, so hybrids between online session and B2B session on site. Like there is a 4 weeks bootcamp for people. Let's take an example on prospection. And during 4 weeks, you're going to have access to the platform that we did with Kreante. And we recommend to the people who follow the bootcamp during 3 weeks to watch different videos on the product they did before the sessions. And during the session, we do practical. So they use the platform to learn the theory, and then during 4 weeks, during 2.5 hours a week, we practice this. We practice this during live session on Zoom or presential if it's on Paris.
I think we can switch like from iconoClass and how you decide to choose NoCode.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't know, but iconoClass, they raised 3 million euros last year to develop their edtech platform, right?
Yep.
And they were like struggling to decide whether choose a code solution or maybe hire a tech team to develop this solution or no code. But I think you didn't know about no code, even though you don't know that much about no code. How was the decision with Marie? What was the process? Why you decide to go for a no code solution and no for a coding one?
Okay. What is great is I don't know nothing about no code. Okay.
And code?
Code?
And code?
No.
Neither.
Yeah, of course, a lot. I don't know nothing about computer stuff. Okay, whatever. But what I did feel first is when Leonie, so the head of product, was in contact with George, that was the first was easy and quick. So that's what she said, easy and quick. So we had, as he said, different solution. Leo did know a bit about no code and code, so she was able to do some stuff, so she could have the solution to train. With a SaaS company, why not? No code, sorry for that. But it could be why not? But we need time. We haven't got the time. That was the problem. So we needed like really quick for a platform. So the first was quick. Then second, we said, okay, let's go for a code session and external. And apparently we could do whatever we like. But if we have made some change, that's what I understand, on the code, we have to hire again or to hire people inside the company, and would cost a lot. And when she talked about, this middle, this in-between solution, that's what I understand. In the first solution, you have like red circle and orange square, and you can't change anything. On the other side, you can develop everything you want, but as soon as you want to change something, it's going to cost you a lot. In the middle, you can have prepare squared, prepare circle, but you can change it cheap and quick. So that's why we get through the no-code solution. And then you came, because George came. Yeah, you want to go?
Yeah, just to explain a little bit about no-code, because I don't know if everybody knows about what's no-code I know Armand, he's specialist, so our friends of Caudal are here. I'm going to switch in Spanish, just 5 minutes. Entonces, pasamos a español para explicarles un poco ese tema del no-code, que es algo bastante nuevo. Esta es la presentación del no-code. Y explicarles un poquito y de ahí volvemos, then we switch in English again with you, okay? That's okay. Entonces, el no-code, nosotros, como comentaba Julien, desarrollamos su plataforma usando esta nueva tecnología, esta nueva revolución que hablamos que se llama no-code, que hasta el momento en realidad existía, pero no era tan conocida. ¿Qué cosa es el no-code? Es un conjunto de herramientas que permiten desarrollar hoy en día más del 90% de soluciones digitales sin una línea de código. O un poquito de código y es donde pasamos al low-code. ¿Esto qué cosa impacta? ¿Cuál es el impacto y las consecuencias de esta nueva tecnología llamada no-code? El costo, siendo más rápido, más económico, y los tiempos. En el caso de la plataforma edtech que ahora vamos a hacer, iconoClass, en código seguramente hubiera demorado 6 meses, 8 meses. En no-code, en menos de 2 meses, entre el diseño y el desarrollo, se pudo lanzar en vivo. Los costos siendo más económicos, también les ha permitido, hoy estamos trabajando en una B2, entonces han podido iterar con los feedbacks de los clientes, se han dado cuenta que había cosas que habían diseñado, habían flujos que habían diseñado que quizás no impactaba tanto como ellos deseaban, entonces están lanzando una segunda versión. Entonces, con el presupuesto que tenían al inicio, en vez de contratar un equipo de código y quizás desarrollar una versión y quizás no les hubiera alcanzado para más, en este caso, con estas soluciones sin código, permite hacer 2 versiones, quizás 3 versiones, 4 versiones rápidamente, de manera súper ágil. El no-code también es inclusivo y es accesible. Nosotros en el equipo somos hoy en día 20 personas y creo que ninguno es un desarrollador informático, salvo Cristian, que es cofundador, él tiene un background informático, pero todos los demás hay personas que vienen del área de lenguas. Un estudiante que estudiaba lenguas, por ejemplo, y autodidacta, se capacitó en temas del no-code y ahora es uno de los mejores desarrolladores del equipo. Un guía turístico de Cusco, que también autodidacta, aprendió esta herramienta. Una madre de familia, que no trabajaba hace 3 años, ella era asistente administrativa en Gambal anteriormente, hoy es la mentora en nuestra parte de academia en una herramienta no-code que se llama Notion. Entonces esto lo vuelve realmente mucho más accesible y hay un cambio de chip, hay paradigmas que se están rompiendo. ¿Cómo yo, que no tengo perfil técnico, voy a poder desarrollar una plataforma compleja? Porque no estamos hablando de desarrollar una página web, algo estático, algo simple, sino una plataforma como Facebook, como Twitter, como Airbnb, un booking. Entonces, cosas que ustedes lo piensan hoy en día y dicen, no soy capaz, nunca he escrito una línea de código. El no-code lo permite. Personalmente les cuento un poco una experiencia. Yo soy ingeniero hidráulico, no soy informático, y en mis clases en la universidad en Toulouse, en Francia, tenía clases de código. C++, Python, JSON, no me acuerdo, y era alérgico. Me sacaba las peores notas, de verdad no era nada bueno. Es más, yo tenía un binomio, mi amigo Román, que dábamos trabajos en conjunto y nos sacábamos 18. En el examen individual me sacaba 5, entonces bueno, y ese sacaba 18, entonces ya se imagina un poco por dónde iba. Y ahora con el no-code lo jugué hace más de 2 años y he podido desarrollar plataformas bastante complejas. Es como una revancha también personal y ahí es donde comento el poder de hacer algo imposible. Es como que un superpoder que te dan estas herramientas para construir cosas que antes no hubieras imaginado poder hacerlo. Y es una revolución, pongo entre paréntesis la R, porque también es una evolución del código. Es decir, que hoy en día, para el mismo resultado, ya hay otra manera de hacerlo. Ya no solamente con código, teniendo un perfil técnico, siendo programador, pero también con estas herramientas. Donde no voy a decir que es para todo el mundo, porque hay personas que yo les puedo decir, pueden hacer esa plataforma, porque quizás no les interesa. Algo importante es la motivación y también conceptos de lógica, que eso se puede trabajar, pero no tienen que saber un lenguaje de programación. Eso es la magia de estas herramientas. ¿Puedes pasar, por favor? Y esto es una tendencia en realidad que viene ya hace muchos años. Es más, decimos que una de las primeras plataformas no-code es Excel. Todos conocen Excel, WordPress, Wix. ¿Cuál es la diferencia? Que WordPress, Wix te permiten hacer páginas sobre todo estáticas, páginas de presentación, de empresas. Estas, según da ola el no-code, que viene hace unos años, y hablamos de plataformas mucho más complejas, es decir, una plataforma educativa. Ahora van a ver un poco cómo se ve y las funcionalidades que tiene. Una plataforma de deporte, una plataforma, un CRM, se pueden hacer plataformas digitales, software, realmente cosas muy complejas. Esta es una tendencia que, bueno, ahí le doy los datos. El primero, que estas herramientas han levantado más de $5.000 millones el año pasado. Entonces realmente es una ola que está yendo con mucha fuerza. Entonces ya depende de cada uno de ustedes si quieren sumarse a esta revolución y a esta tendencia. Lo que les contaba, ¿qué se puede hacer? Temas de marketing, automatizar procesos internos en marketing, páginas también web simples, A/B testing, herramientas no-code permiten eso, emailing también, desarrollo de productos, 90% de productos digitales hoy día se pueden hacer con herramientas no-code. Hasta lo más complejo que ustedes se imaginan. ¿Sí, una pregunta?
Sí, te puedes integrar, digamos.
Exacto. Ahora voy a comentar un poco las partes técnicas. Hay herramientas no-code que permiten integrar todo tipo de APIs externas. Eso es lo que permite conectarnos con pasarelas de pago, servicios de geolocalización, de mensaje texto, de todo. Entonces, esa es una gran ventaja y durante el networking te voy a explicar un poquito más en detalle ejemplos de proyectos y también temas de productividad, cómo ser más productivos en el trabajo. Y ahí Herman de Caudal, ellos son especialistas en este tema también, de equipos de trabajo que se vuelvan más productivos, automatizar procesos. Entonces eso es también algo bien interesante con herramientas no-code. Estas son algunas herramientas que les aconsejamos de descubrir, nosotros las usamos también, herramientas como Bubble, Glide para hacer aplicativos web, SoftR para hacer páginas, pero también con login, con un directorio, Notion, que es una herramienta de productividad para centralizar contenido, Zapier y Make, que son herramientas de automatización, para automatizar procesos. Imagínense ustedes llenan un documento a la mano todas las semanas. Con estas herramientas lo pueden automatizar. Entonces, en vez de estar perdiendo 10 minutos todas las semanas, o quizás más, quizás 5 horas, estas herramientas, la máquina lo hace solito. Entonces ya no se van a tener que preocupar, pueden ser más productivos y concentrarse realmente en el trabajo y su especialidad que ustedes tienen. Webflow para hacer páginas gráficamente atractivas y Airtable para gestionar data. Entonces un poco las funcionalidades, pero de ahí lo podemos ver más en detalle, pasarelas de pago, filtros, geolocalización, casi todo lo que ustedes imaginan de software y productos digitales se pueden hacer usando herramientas no-code. Y acá, bueno, les vamos a mostrar rapidito la plataforma de iconoClass que se desarrolló usando no-code, que es una plataforma educativa con videos, uno puede reservar sesiones de coaching. También habíamos integrado la parte de Slack para mandar automáticamente Slack. Uno puede ver el seguimiento de los cursos que ha tenido. Hemos integrado VideoAsk. ¿Nos puedes hacer un login, por favor, para ver la plataforma? Nos vamos a conectar y van a ver un poco la interfaz. Y esta plataforma, ustedes la ven. Claro, si no les hubiera hablado de no-code, hubieran dicho, esto es un equipo de programadores que lo han hecho y se han demorado 6 o 8 meses. En este caso, se desarrolló la parte técnica en un mes, 5 semanas, y no hay una línea de código. Claro, nosotros usamos herramientas que atrás sí hay código, eso sí, pero cuando uno lo usa, cuando uno usa esta herramienta, no tiene código. Es bloques de lógica, todo está hecho de cero. Ahora les muestro la parte backend de la herramienta para que lo vean. Y acá, por ejemplo, yo si me voy a Mon Abonnement, es mi suscripción, acá yo puedo pagar en línea con una pasarela de pago y me da acceso a una serie de videos, a una serie de cursos. Si voy a mi progresión para ver algún video, por favor, a prospección. Entonces acá hay 5 módulos, esta es la plataforma iconoClass, que es más, ya está saliendo en inglés, mes y medio sale en inglés y va a tener las mismas funcionalidades. Entonces si entro, no sé, las etapas de un cold call, por ejemplo. Entonces yo puedo seguir mis cursos, tengo ejercicios, VideoAsk, no sé si conocen, es una herramienta donde uno hace preguntas y de manera interactiva, dependiendo de la respuesta, otro video aparece. Pues es súper interesante. Y esto también se puede integrar. Si voy a la parte quizás venta, entonces tengo diferentes videos, ejercicios, y todo ha sido desarrollado en una línea de código. Eso es lo increíble de estas herramientas no-code. En este caso la herramienta se llama Bubble. Podemos ir quizás a la página de Bubble para ver cómo funciona esta herramienta. Es un ejemplo. Herramientas no-code existen centenas. Entonces les comentamos las que nosotros usamos. Esta, por ejemplo, es la interfaz del diseño, donde vamos a poner los colores, los estilos, el contenido. Funciona con bloques. Uno pone, yo quiero un cuadrado que mide 50 por 50 píxeles, que tenga esta imagen o este texto, y se van armando esos bloques. Después en Workflows tengo la parte lógica. Toda la lógica de cuando yo aprieto este botón, quiero que se abra esta ventana. Cuando yo pongo mi nombre y pongo Save, quiero que el nombre se registre en la base de datos. Acá tengo la base de datos en Data. Pones en App Data, por favor. Entonces en App Data tenemos todos los campos de la base de datos pero en texto. No hay nada de código, entonces yo pongo, tengo mi tabla usuario, que necesito que tenga un nombre, un apellido, una fecha de nacimiento, todo lo defino acá y después con los workflows, la lógica, voy registrando esa información. Después los estilos, que es más la parte de diseño, plugins, que es para integrar plugins externos que permiten, un poco como WordPress, que uno instala plugins en las páginas para tener más funcionalidades que ya están encapsuladas. No sé, sistema de estrellitas, lo puedo hacer de cero, pero hay un plugin que me permite integrar. Entonces lo instalo y lo uso ya hecho. Los colores, el drag and drop, que es para mover unos grupos en una página. Entonces realmente se puede hacer bastantes cosas. Como les comentaba, más del 90% de aplicaciones web se pueden hacer usando NoCode. La ventaja, el precio y la accesibilidad y los tiempos. La historia personal que nos pasó con Cristian, que es cofundador de Kreante, nosotros hemos emprendido varias veces en productos digitales. Una vez desarrollamos una propuesta que se llama La Cuenta, para pagar la cuenta en los restaurantes con un código QR, dividir y pagar la cuenta. Habíamos hecho maquetas, una PPT, presentaciones, muy bonito. Y muchos restaurantes, fuimos a grandes restaurantes, están interesados por la idea. Nos dijeron, ya, ¿cuándo probamos? Fuimos a cotizar con una empresa de desarrollo, nos demoraba 6 meses y costaba decenas de miles de dólares. Ahí quedó la idea. Este caso yo me imagino que todos lo han vivido, o muchos de ustedes conocen a personas que por la barrera económica y o tecnológica no pueden desarrollar un producto digital. El no-code hoy día democratiza eso. Rompe un paradigma bien fuerte, que es el que yo como perfil no técnico no puedo desarrollar, hoy día sí pueden, depende de las ganas que tengan, de la motivación, pero ya no hay una barrera del lenguaje de programación o barrera técnica. Entonces eso es un poco lo que nos trae el no-code. Entonces vamos a volver al inglés, switch in English again. Was just explaining about iconoClass, the platform, and no-code. Where is iconoClass going now? What's the future of iconoClass? What's the goal of it?
I think first of all, let's not talk about the particular part, which is the bootcamp expand in the UK, because this is like a model that we know. We're trying with this platform to spread, the sales education all over the world, the simplest way it is.
It's like no code for sales, right?
Yes, honestly it is. Why? Because I do believe, I am a believer, of course, I'm a salesperson. I do believe that sales is simple. And people make it difficult to be sure it's a science. I think it's fun. I think it's easy, and it's quite easy access to everyone. So what we're trying to do is, we're going to move this platform in English, and we are trying to be sure that we can make coaching cohort session with different companies to spread this sales education and use all the companies that you're working for, working together to get together the best sales techniques. Why do you say that is with this platform and the bootcamp B2B we have for 4 weeks, Jean, one of the sales of Kreante, who lives in France, has been implicated in this session in July, and he's been implicated with 7 other people, 7 other companies. Instead of sharing critical data, which is not the case, they're all sharing the same trouble. How can I pick up my phone? What would I say to my clients the first time I get him on the phone? And it's all those fears, those different, problems that normally that you keep for yourself in a company that you can share with the others. So to answer to your question, the objective would be, for me, being the onboarding sales platform for everyone in the world. Because I think there is just one sales techniques. It's all about training and motivation. Afterwards, selling a product or in different companies, it's all about techniques about the product himself. But the techniques of sales, all the time, I could repeat this to everyone. It's simple. Just ask open question and listen to the answer and just repeat it, repeat it, repeat it. With this platform, with this way of doing it, with video ask, the funny parts and everything, I think I can make sales much easy access And of course, because it's online, I can spread it all over the world.
Would the platform be in Spanish soon, at some point?
Peut-être.
Quizás.
Quizás. Quizás. Spanish could be, yes, the next goal. Why not? Because the most spoken language, or instead of Chinese, is English and Spanish. It would be great, yes, to have. The hardest part for us, I mean, you made the technical part quite easy because you do it really well. The other part is finding, I mean, the right ambassadors for every different parts. For the sales, people can go on LinkedIn and just have a look at me and say, okay, apparently he knows what he's talking about. Sorry. About the growth, it's the same. All the people we have in the French parts are quite good people. When we're turning into the English part or the Spanish part, we need to find maybe the Peruvian ambassadors of growth marketing, everyone has to know him. So that's the difficulty for us at the moment.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Julien, for this session and interview and sharing all your experience. I think we can go to the Q&A phase.
Yes. Yeah.
En Spanish, English, podemos pasar a la parte de preguntas. Julien, encantado de responder a todos los casos que tengan, consultas en temas de ventas, en mi caso en temas de no-code también. Así que pueden hacer las preguntas en español, en inglés, lo que se sientan más cómodo y podemos traducir. Entonces, si tienen ustedes dificultades en temas de ventas en su empresa, algunos retos técnicos o preguntas, tips, hacks que quieran tener, es el momento. En el canal YouTube hay preguntas. Vale. Perfecto. Acá hay una pregunta. Sí. El micro.
Hola.
Sí, vale.
Ok. Bueno, yo tengo dos preguntas, una para cada uno. La primera es acerca del no-code.
Okay.
Yo justo estaba por empezar a desarrollar una aplicación, más que una aplicación, una plataforma web para poder hacer una especie de bitácora. Actualmente lo hago con Excel, bueno, con Google Sheets, en verdad. Entonces, yo no llegué a tiempo, no estuve desde el principio, pero me gustaría entender cómo Kreante me podría ayudar con eso, porque necesito el desarrollo de esta plataforma y estoy casi seguro que con no-code se podría hacer de todas formas.
Sí, me imagino que sí. Lo primero sería definir, bueno, el objetivo, la lista de funcionalidades que tienes una plataforma, que tiene la plataforma que tienes en mente y ver el estadio de madurez de la idea. Porque nosotros tenemos clientes que vienen solo con la idea, entonces tenemos que acompañarlos en el proceso de aterrizar la idea, definir las funcionalidades, las historias de usuario, hacer el diseño, a veces no tienen ni logo ni identidad gráfica y después el desarrollo de no-code. Hay otros tipos de clientes que ya vienen con todo eso aterrizado, vienen con una maqueta diseñada con colores y nosotros ejecutamos. Entonces va a depender el estadio de tu idea. En todos los casos puedes ahí en la página tener una reunión, nos agendas y nosotros ahí te acompañamos y te recomendamos cuál es la mejor manera. O de otra forma también es aprender algunas herramientas no-code como SoftR, Airtable que hemos visto. Hay bastante material en internet, gratuito, en YouTube uno puede buscar. Nosotros tenemos una parte de academia ahí que Sandra se encarga y ahí puedes comentarle después también. Pues esas son las dos formas. En nuestro caso es o lo hacemos por ti, usando no-code, o te enseñamos cómo hacerlo.
Ah, perfecto. Bueno, yo tengo todo bastante bien aterrizado porque estaba a punto de empezar con un programador. Entonces, digamos, ya hemos repasado los alcances, los objetivos y varias cosas, ¿no? Entonces creo que sí.
Sí, ahí podemos conversar, no hay problema, con mucho gusto.
Okay, perfecto. And the other question is for you. Thanks. Well, I have a company which is called Portero Seguro. We basically give a service to residential buildings. So our customer is not a company. So I think it's not a B2B. Maybe the sales is B2B, but the operations are B2C. So I say it's like a B2BC process sales. So I would like to hear some tips from you because it's very hard, you know. It's not a company, it's not a person.
It's a middleman, right?
Yes, exactly.
So most of the time your clients are a group of people you're talking to, is that right?
Yes, because you know there is like a how do you say this? Like a small organization in every building.
Yeah, yeah. Like
Three or
we have
four
the same.
people,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
We have the same in France. You have to. I think it's all the time. It's the same. Why do they need people at the bottom of their building? Maybe sometimes it's just to make the valuation of your apartment much more, just security, feel safe. I don't know, whatever. Or just having someone to just carry your stuff from the grocery or whatever, I don't know. What do you need? I think in those cases, it's like when you have a bid in big companies. Even if you are selling something on a B2B, you have different person involved. Human resources, marketing, commercial director. The commercial director will be, I mean, most of the time the one with the ego and the one who wants to negotiate. The marketing is normally the one who wants to help growing the company and make it great, you know, I mean, beautiful. And the HR wants to know if it fits with all the employees, I mean, mindsets. Of course, when you're going to sell the product to those three different people, at the same time, you will just give some benefits to each other. What do you need is identify inside the building who are, I mean, the decision maker, who are the purchaser, and who are the users. So that's what I mean, the buyer persona. The purchaser is going to be like, all right, that's just caricatural, okay? The purchaser is going to be the old man who's got time to look at the accounts of the building because he's going to pay for your service. So he's the one in charge of the accountant, okay? When you're going to have afterwards the decision maker, it might be the one who has the biggest apartment, I don't know, or a group of people with family with loads of influence inside. And after, you have the user, the one who doesn't know why he doesn't need some security at the bottom of his building, or just the one who's just happy to have one, but he doesn't care. So as soon as you identify all those different particularities of people, you will have to address them differently. So that's really important, and exactly the same when I sell training inside companies. I'm going to see HR. HR wants just to know if what I do fits with the company purpose. The commercial director wants to know if his people is going to be much more efficient. And the purchaser wants to see he's going to buy the cheapest service. So as soon as I go to three different people, I will talk to them, yes, it's good for your employee. No, it's not really cheap, it's not really expensive. And to the commercial director, yes, my method is the best. So you will to adapt to all those different people. But never forget one thing, that most of the time, the benefits of your solution are only around 5 different environments. It's, I'm going to write it because I'm going to miss it. So the benefit that you're going to provide is security. I'm going to write it in English, in French. Comment on dit orgueil en anglais? Non, non, ça c'est c'est fierté. Voilà, en español está bien. Yeah, no, it's not about ego. Yeah, it's a bit about ego. Let's call it ego. Let's go with this. New things. Curiosity. S-O-N-C. Sympathy. And it's an A in French, but it's going to be a D in Spanish and an M in English. It's money, dinero. So your 5 benefits of a product is not more than that, okay? 6, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the last one, sorry, for the last decade is ecology. And it works for all of you, okay? The benefits of a product is only about 7 categories. Security. I want it to be safe. Ego. Orgueil in French. I forgot the name. Ego, yeah, because I've got someone at the bottom of my building. When people are coming inside, they see that I'm rich because I've got someone, you know? Because you're the newest company in town, in Lima, don't they? Curiosity, people who want to know. Oh, sorry, Tom. I'm just missing something because I messed up in French. It's not curiosity, sorry. It's comfort. It's easy for me to have someone down the building, sorry. Money, okay, because I'm gonna just win some money because my apartment will raise, because there is a service associated to it. Sympathy, because I do like you, because I like your company, I've got the contact. And ecology, that I don't know about security service. I don't mean that you don't care about ecology, but it's a bit, hard to find. So when you're gonna meet all those people, I mean, decision maker, purchaser, and user, they will all found different benefits inside, okay? So you will have to turn around and maybe you will have to apply different benefits to different people. Of course, I mean, all people, which is caricatural, but it's the same, or maybe women alone or stuff like that, maybe much more security. And the doctor inside the building is just about the ego, okay? So you will have, that's what sales is about, just to adapt to your clients, but all the time the same benefits.
See them separately maybe, or what's the best?
No, because I think it's going to be a decision altogether. But what you can do, what we used to do during a sales cycle, is to invite people differently or see them in different situations. You know that the HR is alone. Without the marketing and commercial director, you can try to go in person. Yeah, less objection. And afterwards, the last advice I could say, when you have like a negotiation with loads of people, you have friendly look and you have like hostile look. Most of the time, just count on the friendly look, and just focus on them. And they will drag all the group with them.
Thank you.
¿Otra pregunta?
Sí, allá. A ver, por allá.
No sé si el micro está funcionando.
Hola, hola. ¿Sí? ¿Sí se escucha?
Okay. This is for Julian. Can you give me some tips about cold calls? And normally when you do this, the first person you contact is the assistant, secretary, and in our industry, my business is about doctors, and doctors are not LinkedIn. So it's a bit hard for us to get them. So maybe some advice.
Can you tell us a little bit about your solution?
Yes, we're a SaaS for doctors.
SaaS for what?
Doctors.
Doctors, okay, so to take appointments to doctors.
Sorry?
To take appointments in doctors.
It's an all-in-one solution, CRM.
Okay, great. Okay, great. So you're the decision maker and the buyer is the doctor, is that right? And most of the time you got the assistant. Okay, yeah. Okay, so that. Yeah, of course, is working. Yeah. Okay. Do you have an hour? Do you have an hour? Because I'm trying to be short. So cold calling is when you get to this. First of all, is the client you're trying to reach is who's calling. Why does he call me? Why do I have to talk to him? Why do I have to listen to him? So in 3 different phases, you will have to get all the answers. So that's the way I do for iconoClass. Say, I hang up the phone and say, hello, my name is Julien. I am from iconoClass. Can I speak to George? Okay? This is George on the phone. Okay, great. Hello, George. How do you struggle with your sales efficiency at the moment as a commercial director? I don't know why you couldn't. Okay, I'm a training platform for sales. What I do recommend is talking about efficient during an appointment. Would you be available on Friday, on Monday? So just keep the line during all the call, okay? That's the easiest part. First of all, just say no. Why not? I have no interest. Yes, I know. But at the moment, I know you haven't got any interest. But as a commercial director, I know that efficiency of your sales team is really important. Let's take an appointment to see what I can bring to you. No, really, I don't have the time. Okay, thank you very much for taking my call. See you later. Remember, 300 calls for 30 appointments. So during 270 time, I had someone like George say, no, sorry, no interest. No, 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 sorry. Okay? So it's the same as sales. Be ready to have people who say no. Okay? Second, if it's the assistants who pick up the phone, I haven't got any tricks, to get through this. The first of all, if the assistant of George to say, no, sure, George is not available at the moment, okay, do you have any access to his agenda? Yes, she's or he is the assistant, of course, he has George's agenda. So he is allowed to schedule some appointments about this. So first of all, just be sure that you're talking to the people who is in charge of the agenda. If it's the case, the first mistake could be just trying to avoid the assistant. Okay? Avoiding the assistant is like just want to talk to a chef in a restaurant avoiding the waiter. If you avoid the waiter, he could just, be really rude with you. But the waiter is not only the people in charge of serving you the dishes. It's the person in charge of communication with the restaurant. It's the same with the assistant. What do sales do all the time when they do cold call and they have assistants say, okay, whatever. Is the doctor here? No. She's a person, he's a person, so she needs attention. And I'm going to tell you a story about assistants. During the COVID, I was doing cold call, and in La Défense, which is a neighbor in France, we have all the business and stuff like that. You have, towers, and most of the time to make some economy, some money saving, they just hire one people down the tower to answer the phone. And because no one was inside the tower during the COVID lockdown, you are all the time the same people on the phone. And I had like a list of number, and all the time I was calling Catherine. Catherine was the person in charge, just to pass. Can I speak to, yes, which office is it? 311, okay. 311, no, it's not answering, goodbye. And I was hanging up again. Hello, yes, my name is Catherine. Yes, I want to talk to, yes, which office? That was her only job. But because I just developed a relationship and I put consideration in this people, I say, okay, well, apparently it's the 5th time I've got you on the phone. Is it your job? Yes. Why? No, because apparently it's going to be really hard. Yes, she said, because during the COVID, all the office are just, not occupied. So it's quite hard for me because all the time I said to the people, no, he's not here or he's not in his office. And she said, okay, you know what? Give me a list and I'm going to tell you who's going to be here. Imagine, give me a list and I'm going to tell you who's going to be here. So it's going to be easiest for you. So because I put attention on the assistant, okay, she gave me just like an open door to everyone. It's not going to work all the time. But what I do recommend is, okay, you're the assistant, are you right? And it's the last advice I'm going to give it to you. I start my call by, hello, my name is Julien. I work for iconoClass. How are you today? And most of the time people say, okay, do I know you? No. But ¿cómo estás? ¿Todo bien? Simple. Solo con un todo bien give you just, the feelings. You talking to someone, to your friend. When you arrive to a restaurant, you say, okay, what do you eat? No, you arrive and say, oh, ¿qué tal? ¿Todo bien? Because it's your friend. Do the same with your prospect and your clients. You will see it's going to open doors.
Maybe we can focus on YouTube questions, okay, because then we have the networking session. So then you can ask like one-to-one question for Julien.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, here we have a question that I think is from Julien. Yes. Yeah, so I'm going to say it first in Spanish so we can hear about it and then in English. La pregunta es, cuando un sector está en evangelización, como por ejemplo NoCode, ¿cómo afrontar la venta si hay un tiempo de early adopter? En inglés sería, when a sector is in a evangelization, how to deal with the sale if there is an early adopter time?
Burn out awareness, like period, like no code. Yes. Like we have to give awareness, right? Because the process is long, how will you deal with that?
I think is Well, it's great to trying to evangelize or to put awareness around no-code, but I think it's not your job. Your job is to sell your products. And because you have the best product or the best solution for no-code, you will be able to evangelize. Okay? It's, yes, the consequence. As he said, this is the iPhone. When the big one said, this is the iPhone, no one knows what was it. But the consequence is everyone wants an iPhone and an Apple. Okay? It's because Kreante did a good work with us that I'm going to be able to say, no, don't do code, do no code, and I know someone. And before this, having George in the front of the screen just explaining to me what is no code and what I could do with it, no, I've seen it, so I can evangelize. And what I do recommend is recommendation. Recommendation is the best way to evangelize people. So use your clients to be sure that they're going to be the best sales. Good clients, like we are, because we are in second work with Kreante, are good recommendation for Kreante. If I know some... Yes, of course. Yeah, say, how did you do your platform? I know someone. Do you know no-code? No-code is easy. I do like this in France, you know, just to make people believe that I do something, I do know something in no-code, but I don't. Yeah, no-code is easy, don't do code. It's too old. And I know someone who does. That's evangelization. So to answer to the question, use recommendation and sell your product. Do not try to evangelize people. We're not in religion.
Okay, thank you. I think we don't have so much questions. I don't know if... No sé si alguien tiene alguna pregunta aquí.
I think we can go to the... Podemos ir al networking.
Okay.
Ahí para que las preguntas sean uno a uno, personales. Muchas gracias a todos por este espacio. Gracias por los que han venido. Gracias a los que nos han seguido en LinkedIn. Thank you very much to everyone that has been present. Live sessions. Thank you to the team. Thank you also for the space. We are at the Miraflores co-working space, so that's also really thanks to them to give the space. Thank you to the people behind the camera that have been recording this streaming, and the whole Kreante team, Evelyn, Sandra, Valerie, Eric, all the team, and of course Julien that has been here, like even he's on holidays, he's like traveling around Peru, and he like put a space in his vacation to come here and answer all your questions. So thank you and see you next time for all the person in the live session. Thank you.
Muchas gracias, gracias. Podemos pasar.
Pues a todos los demás hay un espacio de networking afuera para que puedan hacer todas las consultas personales a Julien, a mí. Entonces hay gaseositas, sanguchitos, ahí nos vemos.